There are many stop-motion racing series on YouTube, from the Aflac Cup series to the Mizcraft Cup series to even my own LTP stop-motion series. So when something outrageous happens in one series, it could actually happen in another, especially when it comes to records. But there are a few records in a series that could not be ever beaten again, or at least be highly unlikely. This is Unbeatable Records in stop motion. This first record happens in BMRN season number 4. The Boss Motion Racing Network was well into its 4th season. In fact, it was the second to last race weekend of the series. The BMRN in general is different from other stop motion series. While most stop motion series have one tour for one season, the BMRN had anywhere from 2 to 4 different racing series going alongside, January 2nd through 5th, 2019. The series was heading in for 4 different races at the Calebville Raceway. The first one would be the Gen 4 race on January 2nd, and then the day after that, the Shane's Xfinity Series race, and then after that, the NOS Energy Premier Series race, and finally, capping off the weekend would be the finale of the Stop Motion Race of Champions, the 6-race season where the best in the league competed for a championship. There was only one driver that was starting all 4 races, that driver being Caleb Campbell. With only 2 laps to go in the Gen 4 race, Caleb Campbell, in the number 81 car, took advantage of that late race restart and went from 3rd to 1st in 1 lap. The 2 championship contenders behind him, Ethan Matson and Audrey Crockett, battled for position, but they could not catch up with Caleb as he racked up his first, but not last, win of the week. In the Shane's Xfinity Series race, Caleb Campbell was out front most of the day and was in front heading to the white flag, being chased down by championship contender Junior Ramos. Suddenly, a huge crash happened on the front straightaway, with the 11 of Haley Deegan getting into the fence and the 92 of Nola Kay making her debut, got upside down, and Caleb would win his 2nd race in a row. A crash between Larson Fan and Vinny Schulz in turn number 3 set up a 2-lap restart in the NOS Energy Premier Series race. And guess who was in the lead?
Can Caleb Campbell do it? So we have 2 to go. Jake Hero blocks Battelle. Audrey Crockett is at 3 wide. And she's been quiet all day getting through the field. Now she's up to 2nd, battling Jake Hero for 2nd place now. And Caleb Campbell with a white flag. He's only thinking of 2 things now. The final 4 and doing the triple here at Calebville near his hometown. And he will have both those after this race here today. Caleb Campbell wins it at Calebville.
Caleb Campbell became the first driver to perform what he called the triple, winning the Gen 4 Series, Shane's Xfinity Series, and NOS Energy Premier Series races all in the same weekend. However, there was a 4th race for Caleb to tackle if he wanted to be perfect, and it was the SM Rock race the very next day. Once again, Caleb Campbell was up near the front in the SM Rock race, looking to get 4 wins in a row, which would certainly make it legendary. But did he do it? With 2 laps to go, he and championship rival Brady Wilmington were battling for the win. It seemed very likely that he could do it.
Here goes Brady Wilmington for the lead. Caleb Campbell now is leading the most laps on the race. Side by side down the back stretch, just 3 to go. Caleb Campbell, Brady Wilmington 1 and 2 in the points. Wilmington's to be sideways with him, but he's going to lead that lap here. Brady Wilmington right now has 3 points or 2 points behind Caleb Campbell right now. And it's coming to, I believe, 2 to go here. Brady Wilmington's still out front with Caleb Campbell in 2nd, or this was actually coming to 1 to go, I think. Yeah, this is the last lap here, guys. Caleb Campbell going to make a dive for it. It won't happen. Brady Wilmington's going to win, but Caleb Campbell is an SM Rock champion.
So, can Caleb's record actually be beaten? While highly unlikely, theoretically, it could happen. But there needs to be a miraculous string of events to even set it up. There are 4 conditions that must be met. Number 1, the BMRN LTP Pro Series must be renewed for Season 2. The BMRN LTP Pro Series is a collaboration series between my channel and his, where half the races are on his channel and half the races are on mine. The reason why this series needs to exist is to make a 4th series on the BMRN. Right now they only have 3, which is the Nostr Energy Premier Series, the Bass Pro Gen 4 Series, and the Skittle Short Track Pro Series. So at the moment, it's only possible to tie the record. But if this series were to get renewed for a 2nd season, in the middle of BMRN season number 6, it could set up 4 races being on the same weekend. Number 2, the driver that attempts this must be a Skittle Short Track Pro Series driver, because drivers from the Nostr Energy Premier Series and Bass Pro Gen 4 Series cannot make any starts in the Skittle Short Track Pro Series. But the Skittle Short Track Pro Series drivers can make part-time starts in the Nostr Energy Premier Series and Bass Pro Gen 4 Series. And they can run full-time in the BMRN LTP Pro Series if it gets renewed. So only Skittle Short Track Pro Series drivers could attempt this. Number 3, a BMRN LTP Pro Series race must take place on a BMRN triple header. The definition of triple header in this instance is 3 races on the same track, being from the Nostr Energy Premier Series, Bass Pro Gen 4 Series, and the Skittle Short Track Pro Series. This is the only way a Skittle Short Track Pro Series driver can attempt a Skittle Short Track Pro Series race, a Bass Pro Gen 4 Series race, and a Nostr Energy Premier Series race all in the same weekend. And they'd also have the BMRN LTP Pro Series race stacked on top of that, which would set up their 4-race run. Number 4, and the final condition, said BMRN LTP Pro Series race must be on the BMRN channel. It cannot be one of the races that are on my channel, as the record specifically states that it's the amount of races that one person wins in a weekend on the same channel. So, let's set up this scenario. Let's use Pacific Racing driver Scarlett Rose as an example for this scenario. Scarlett Rose is a full-time Skittle Short Track Pro Series driver. Check, she is eligible to run all 3 races in one weekend. There is only one weekend where she is scheduled to run the Nostr Energy Premier Series, Bass Pro Gen 4 Series, and Skittle Short Track Pro Series race all in one weekend. That weekend, the first Bristol weekend. She's running all 3 races. She'd also have to sign up for the BMRN LTP Pro Series Season 2 if it even happens in the first place, and she'd likely have to pick a good car as well so that she'd have a good chance to win. There has to be a BMRN LTP Pro Series race on the BMRN channel in the same weekend as the Bristol race. Thirdly, Scarlett would have to win the BMRN LTP Pro Series race, which could be pretty possible if she has a good car. Then she'd have to win the Skittle Short Track Pro Series race, which would also be possible as that 62 isn't that bad. Then she'd have to win in the Pacific Racing number 44, the very next race, which is a hard car to win in and has only won once. And then she has to do the unthinkable and win in the number 26 Pacific Racing car at Bristol in the NEPS race, pulling off an incredible upset in a car that usually runs around 30th place. That is what anyone would have to do to beat Caleb's record. So for now, it's practically an unbeatable record.